Hey there, guys. I haven't done the new player stuff in a while, so let's go ahead and knock out a new challenge that we haven't beaten yet. That's going to be the hard mode Morgana Empress Resolution in the Chamber of Vengeance. So we're going to go for an all mission clear at the same time. Party of 5 or less, 10 turns or less, and 15 turns or less. Try to get that Celestite Rod. Then we're going to grab a high magic Tsukiko, and we're going to just go in with this party. So Sylvie for just generalized support, Roberta for refire imbuing, Tsukiko's for our damage, also morale fill, and then Seymour for covering and dark resistance. The friend is currently not using any dark resist gear, or not a dark resist set, I should say. And again, if I had asked Liv Dilly to build it, he would have very easily. I'm just grabbing him just randomly off the cuff, so whatever. But anyway, let's go ahead and have Sylvie morale fill and then do some resistance buffs. We'll have Seymour do a cover magic. We'll have Tsukiko. Let's have the friend Tsukiko put up Omamori, the fire field, and consecration fire. Let's have mine put up Omamori. Let's cure the imperils and let's do prayer of protection. And let's have Roberta start in the shift for auto buffing and then use rousing, mirage, and I think Ignitas's domain. Okay, so turn 1 is just set up. Now we don't have a breaker on this party. We do have the Obsidian Bracer equipped. So we have 5 turns of undispellable breaks on the boss, and after that we're gonna have to use really janky options like breaks from an Esper or cooldown breaks on Sylvie. But if we do well, we can maybe finish out the fight before that even matters. We're gonna find out, I guess. Okay, so Sylvie will be counterattacking re-raise every now and then. That's going to be very convenient, but also some turns she won't actually. But anyway, we'll make it work. So Seymour is now going to go ahead and do the 200% dark resist buff. We'll go ahead and use morale fill, resistances, and debuff cure on Sylvie. Roberta will do Ignitas or Inferno, Mystic, and then Rousing. And we're going to start DPSing with the Tsukikos. So we will re-imperil every turn, not that. We'll re-imperil every turn with Roberta before we chain. We'll also use Roberta to build the chain a little bit, and then our real DPS of Tsukiko will come in a moment. So wait for the chain to build a little bit with tag chaining. Then we send our Tsukikos and deal a chunk of damage. Now, we don't have a weapon imperil on the boss. We are using her STMR Rod. If we had, really no one can reapply that every turn. So we could do something like a katana build with Kaito, but I don't have Kaito, and my newbie account doesn't have any way to equip katanas anyway. Not to mention I don't have a magical katana, so we're not doing any of that. We're just going to have to deal with not having a weapon imperil on the boss. It should be fine. We've got a strong friend, and my Tsukiko is EX2, so overall we've got a strong team. Now it is nice that we re-raised right there, because we might push the first threshold coming up. We did unlock Tsukiko's Magnus skill, so every other turn we can use Blazing Retribution. That's a nice big chunk of damage. Let's have Seymour just reapply cover, and Sylvie can just reapply her morale stuff. So let's go ahead and again re-imperil the boss and then tag chain a little bit and come in with our Tsukikos. And now hopefully we stop around like 61, 62%. 63, that's fine. Okay, so we're not having to deal with the sub 60 phase just yet. Now next turn we're probably going to burst straight through to sub 50. So we really need Sylvie to counterattack this turn. If she doesn't counterattack, I'm going to have to normal attack and kind of waste her turn. There's a Vicious Massacre, but we miraged it, so not a problem. Sylvie should counterattack. She's getting attacked a lot here. Oh yeah, she countered. So we have re-raise on our Seymour. So let's go ahead and do a big chunk of damage this turn. And probably trigger the boss to... we'll definitely trigger the boss to kill our Seymour. So we will... From the Ghastly Nightmare. Let's go ahead and chain our fire damage again. Seymour can reapply the Dark Resist buff. Go ahead and just cast these two. Wait just a moment. Send Roberta. Wait just a moment. And send our DPS. There we go. And this should push the boss below 50. It did. So, okay, so this is going to be the Ghastly Nightmare and all, which will kill our Seymour. Now, the boss might potentially use an AoE attack while Seymour is re-raising, and that could potentially cause problems, but hopefully she doesn't. We'll see what happens. Where's the Ghastly Nightmare at? Oh, I hope she does it. Is she not doing it? It's RNG. She might not do it. That's actually unfortunate. I wanted her to do it. So now she hasn't used it up yet. She might... Boss, why you gotta be a pain in my butt? Why you gotta do that? Well, this is the last turn of breaks we have, because our Obsidian Bracer is wearing off. So we're not gonna hold back. We're going for it. So let's Blazing. Yeah. Okay, well... Stupid boss didn't use Ghastly Nightmare. It kind of messes up my plans, but depending on how this turn goes, it might be okay. Let's go ahead and find out. And I might have gone too slow. Oh, did I go too slow? No, I'm good. Okay, so nice big chunk of damage. Okay, so as long as we can like recover this bad turn coming in right now, we might be okay. So here comes bad stuff. So here is the threshold. There's the Ghastly Nightmare, but the threshold is not over, and this is the problem here. Yeah, the threshold is not over. Here's a second Ghastly Nightmare. That's the problem right there. So we are resisting, and oh, we actually, technically speaking, we're alive. Okay, well, we did lose our, okay. I have two options here. I can try to get Seymour back alive because Sylvie didn't counter, or I can just go for it. I'm thinking just going for it is the solution here because we're going to be in trouble if we... Because Seymour doesn't have auto cover when he gets revived. So if we just raise Seymour, nothing's really going to happen. It's going to be like a waste. So we're going to just Inferno, Mystic, and Support. And Sylvie is going to offense to break the boss, Compassionate, and Resolve, I guess? You know what I can actually do with you? I can Inferno, Ignitos, and Support, and we'll just not worry about trying to support chain. Because we need that Imperil Cure to try to survive here. Yeah, so we may or may not win this turn. Okay, well, we got it anyway. That was fine. Technically speaking, so we kind of overpowered that a little bit because Tsukiko is crazy powerful. Anyway, party 5 or less, 10 turns or less, 15 turns or less. We did it. So Seymour is using a lot of Ice, Wind, Light, and Dark Resist, as well as he is not provoking. He's got Sylvie's buffs as well. So here's his gear. As you can see, it is totally jank gear. And we've got Sylvie's card for the Resist All. And yeah, he does the covering type stuff and the big Dark Resist buff. Sylvie is passive provoke evasion with Blizzard Orb. She's also got 175 or better Dark Resist. And here is the build. Full evasion, full passive provoke, and she counters re-raise, which is very, very helpful for this fight. Roberta has 95 or better Dark Resist, as well as just support chaining. That's really it. She does the Fire Imbue, Fire Amplify, and Fire... Not the Imbue doesn't matter, but the Fire Imperil and the Fire Amplify every turn. She starts in the Shift form with Obsidian Bracer, and that's the only break we really have for the first part of the fight because we are not using a dedicated breaker, and this cannot be dispelled. So we only had an 80% break for this fight, but by finishing the fight quickly, that was enough. My Tsukiko in the base form is using some Dark Resist. Other than that, literally who cares? We're not DPSing in the base form. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the base form. Well, the Shift form, same thing. And then Shift form is gear the same, so basically 8,000 magic, my janky Celestite ring, some evocation stuff, chain cap up, EX2, 280, 290, we didn't do LB, and she's got 100 Dark Resist. And then the friend, this is Liv Dilly's. And again, I didn't ask Liv Dilly for a custom build, so this is not built. This is just a random grab off the friend list. So, you know, no dark resist. That's why I brought Seymour. But Seymour allows you to handle that, not a problem, because with Seymour, you have a 200 dark resist buff, and it's fine. Shift form is just, you know, high magic. That's why I grabbed her. So 11,000 magic. EX3, there we go. I'm sure she's maxed out. I didn't actually check, but I'm sure she is. She is maxed on everything, and there we go. So definitely carried by a friend, but we're going to see the damage breakdown in a second. And that's all missions. That gives me the Celestite Rod, as well as... Oh, I actually don't have the upgrade yet. Yeah, I've got to run this a few more times to get the upgrade, the recipe to upgrade it, which would need, what, 12 units? But now I can cycle 6 units at a time, though. So 6 units, I could just add like 1 extra unit per clear, or I could... Oh, I ranked up, nice. Or I could try to cycle more units. Okay, so the friend literally doubled my damage, which is expected. I mean, you know, well-geared friend. That's fine. We got it done. And there's the damage breakdown. Okay, so there's our all-mission Morgana clear. Yeah, and we got some missions complete as well. Did we? Did we not finish any of the milestone missions? What? Oh, because we literally didn't complete any of them. Ha! Okay, so I've got to do 8 more units for... Oh, wow, that's going to be a pain in the butt. That's going to be a pain. But now I can use 6 units. So, okay, I'll work on that slowly over time. That's definitely not like a big speed thing for me to get done immediately. I'll get it eventually. Anyway, there was the Morgana all mission clear. Okay, hope it was enjoyable. See you in a bit.